Okay, hi guys. Hope you're all well. For those that don't know me, my name is Rhys Day. I'm from Ipswich. I've been at Ipswich for about, Calm, then Ipswich for about 8 years now. But enough about me. Let's get on with today's show. So, thanks for dialing in to the session. And for those of you who don't know Ipswich, just a bit of a background behind them or us. We're a leading provider of specialist utility and infrastructure support services. We work in partnership with our customers across both regulated and non-regulated environments to optimize performance, supporting the security, resilience, and longevity of the critical networks that they have. We combine traditional services and market-leading digital tech in asset management solutions, enhancing our customers' decision-making process through a systems thinking, resulting in improving asset efficiency and ultimately improving costs. With national coverage capability, we're always on hand to respond to your planned or reactive needs, ensuring that your network remains operational every single day, every hour, every minute. So if you do have any problems, any queries, then some way or the other, Ipswich can help and provide a service to fix it. So onto today's webinar. Darren Price, my colleague, will be heading up. Darren is our digital innovation technical manager. Is that right, Darren? Give us a nod. Yeah. Darren's been with Ipswich a while, developing and working on Sewer Viewer over the last 8 years. So I would like to say that Darren is the oracle when it comes to Sewer Viewer. So all the questions that you are putting across today, although they'll be coming through on the chat and it's my job to answer them, I'll be a middleman because Darren will be the man that will be answering them ultimately. Yeah, he knows what there is to know about Sewer Viewer. Darren's the man. So no other better person to present this than Daz. Anyway, Q&As will be at the end. So as stated, please put any questions on the chat and we'll pick them up from there. And if you do want any other information and you don't want to put it on the chat, then you can always contact us through the Ipswich website. Just go onto Google or any search engine, Ipswich, and you'll find us there. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to pass on to Darren, and I hope you enjoy the webinar, guys.
Thanks very much, Rhys. Today's session aims to provide a taster of some of the many features that Sewer Viewer contains. The system and the team have a proven track record, having been in use since 2013, allowing our clients to effectively manage hundreds of thousands of surveys across thousands of projects. Feedback from clients includes phrases like game-changing, and without Sewer Viewer, we could not sustain contractual compliance. So being directly involved with day-to-day survey and management needs, Ipswich is very well placed to design and deliver useful engineering software. So today's session, we're going to be looking at what Sewer Viewer is, to give you a taster of that, and also an insight into why it was created. An insight through a case study, and of course then an opportunity for any questions and answers at the end of the session. So let's start with what is Sewer Viewer. I guess put simply, Sewer Viewer is a system which is designed to simplify the process of managing CCTV data and consequent decisions and the actions. It doesn't require expertise in queries or SQLs. That all happens behind the scenes. And it's a system and a service provided by an experienced and knowledgeable team. It's a convenient home for pipeline survey data with planning and management tools, automated compliance and quality checks, and analysis tools. And all this via online access. That, of course, provides efficiencies with the effective facilities of the system. It's an end-to-end system. So from the perspective of from a planning what to survey and then ordering the survey work, who's to carry out the survey, with live progress updates for operational management. A bit more detail about that in the next few slides. It also provides an audit trail for supplier reports, observation and video files, with any data lag. So, for example, the time between site work being completed and then the supply of the condition information. That may be a measurement, of course, of contractor performance. It's easily accessible to see the condition assessments, to make decisions about further works or repairs, and of course, seeing the completed repairs, making those visible, for checking and confirming that the current condition of the asset is satisfactory. Essentially, improved conditions means an improved customer experience. The audit and visibility of the system, we have auto screening that ensures that whatever is supplied in the system is usable. So there are no unexpected deliverable surprises. And we've found that visibility drives performance and quality, compliance, and of course it also leads to quicker turnarounds, probably through a bit of peer pressure. Technical team provides bespoke quality and auditing services, a further layer of service and support from our quality approach. Visibility benefits all the supply chain, for CCTV contractors and asset managers alike. No budget spend surprises, and any issues or interventions are reported directly from the site teams. It's system agnostic. It means that we're not going to prescribe what reporting system any of the CCTV contractors use and have used, which of course means that it's compatible with any historic data. And of course, there's no need for the contractors to change any procedures or adopt different ways of working. Building a library in SewerViewer has many benefits, some of which we should cover shortly. So to provide a bit of an overview, I thought it was worth going through some of the key functionality of the features within SewerViewer. I'll just run through these key elements on this particular slide. We have, first of all, linear asset management and the planning tools. That provides an online GIS style view of pipes for asset selection. Project tracking. Once that selection has been made, those pipes can be entered into a project to allow for operational management, to see the visibility of site works and the progress, and of course, then the availability of that condition data. The condition data, as well as the project tracking information, is available through the online library. That provides many benefits, including all authorised users having easy access to all of the surveys, allows for visual condition and comparisons over multiple surveys and of course time. It also has savings. It prevents unnecessary resurveys, having visibility to all individuals and teams, even if working in different offices, locations, or even working from home. And it caters for unlimited number of users. Carrying out survey work has a cost. Providing reliable access allows users and reuse of that information. It ensures the value of that investment can be used. It isn't just about file sharing. It's not just Dropbox or transfer. SewerViewer presents CCTV data in an understandable, usable, and an intuitive way. Condition assessment and analysis. Grading of internal conditions to provide focus on what to prioritise, with a range of inbuilt analysis reports available, some of which we'll cover later, including an automated remediation and recommendation reporting facility, which links directly to the survey reports and the videos, or can be downloaded to Excel. The live performance monitoring is a real exciting and useful element, with feeds directly from the site crews. Provides up to the minute productivity and survey information, and all data is presented by grouping the reported information for analysis. Again, we'll touch upon that shortly. The information that leads through the survey progress, of course, leads to the commercial claims. Identifying what works completed often triggers that commercial process. Provides work bank values, what works in progress, and the completions are all easily reportable. An auditable trail of reporting to show all submissions as and when they're uploaded. Please inquire for further detailed information about how that functionality would benefit your specific circumstances. I'd like to move on showing you a few extracts from the system. First of all, looking at mobile app. The information link between the site teams and the managers and coordinators play a major role. I guess the old adage, a stitch in time saves 9, springs to mind. Knowing what teams are where, what issues are preventing productivity, such as buried covers or locked gates or specific TM needs, providing that information immediately with descriptions or photos is useful for follow-on and planning access works. And of course, a photo paints 1,000 words. Follow-on works can be added instantly into projects. So if a pipe needs a clean, that linked project can be populated with that information and of course added to that work bank. Clearly, when surveys are completed, it shows which crews completed them and provides any relevant feedback about that survey. With all of that help leading into the future planning and perhaps approval for repairs and that process. So the Superviewer mobile app facilitates workflows and exchange of key information. Information between site crews and operational management is immediate and it's stored centrally. It's therefore very easy to find. So I guess where the old adage is concerned, perhaps the phrase should be, the stitch in time saves thousands. Just to show you a few extracts of the system, this is a feed from the mobile app into the system. We have on the left-hand side, we can see, I'll just pop my laser pointer on. There we go. We can see here, this is a timeline that feeds from the bottom to the top and gives a minute by minute, blow by blow account of what's coming back from the site crews, including confirmed meterage as well as any access issues. There's also a daily productivity bit of information on the top here showing how many crews are working, what's the completed meterage, and the quantity of any access issues. So it's a real on-the-spot bit of information that's available from that live feed. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have a performance monitoring facility where targets can be set. This line shows the value of targets set against each crew, and then what the performance of the crew. This information is then grouped on this graph by sizes. So it gives a fairly instant view of how things are going on site and perhaps raises any concerns about early warnings. Ideal information for coordinators and operation managers. This next screen shows how that information feeds into the system. This kind of information, again, is useful for operation coordinators, but also for asset managers. If the app isn't in use, then this information can be populated straight from a desktop as well. What we're looking at here on the left-hand side, we have a view of various projects status. So we have a couple of images of the progress. The left-hand side shows how many of the pipes within a project have been confirmed to be completed. And on the right-hand side, we have how many of those surveys have been uploaded to the system with the condition and also the video information. Drilling into those projects, we can see a pipe by pipe or blow by blow account of exactly what's happening. Each of the pipes starts life as scheduled, which then means that the pipe is planned for a survey date against the crew. Once the crew's completed that survey, then they can site complete it. Again, that's populated by the app directly, or confirm that there's an access issue. Once the condition reports are into the system, that information will then change from site complete and the pipe will go into a received area. And that will, of course, then lead into the commercial element of the project. Once the survey data is in the system, to find it, you're presented with a search page. This will be familiar for any web browser user, with visualization features of where the surveys are, the location, and also the grade information on an interactive Google map. So that's sort of shown on that slide there. Data can be uploaded into the Ipsum preload area from any location. Though CCTV data is often subject to back office checks and updates by the CCTV contractors themselves prior to submitting the final data and videos, mainly to remove errors or omissions from the raw site data. it's understandable that that happens, as many mistakes and typos are made in the harsh environment that site crews work in. Once the data is on the upload platform, the screening of the data automatically checks that the data submission meets the specifications set for the client. Things that may fall out of that criteria are a couple of examples. Perhaps that the video is missing, or that the same survey has already been uploaded previously, which would then cause a duplication. We'll go into a little bit more about failed data shortly, but essentially any data which passes the screening of the process is compliant data, and that is immediately available on the system to view. Visualization continues. Each survey has its own set of pages. On the slide at the moment, we can see visualization of, first of all, the location, the pipe, where it is in the world, looking at the details of the start point and the end point of the survey. We can also see the video footage along with the conditions reporting from the start of the survey at 0 through to the completion of the survey down the screen as it progresses. With immediate links, by clicking on the timecode, will jump to that particular location. This allows for a review of the conditions that have been observed. It may well be that whilst there's a particular condition described, the specifics of that condition may want to be verified by looking at the video and what it actually looks like in the pipe. There's also a document store. So typical documents that may be provided with surveys are things like site plans and also a PDF copy of the report. Again, that'll all be stored against each of the surveys in the survey related page. So each survey is automatically stored within its own project, but it's also included within the global library, which means that the global library can be used to search for statistical reporting at the end of the year, perhaps kilometres of grade 5s, 4s, 3s, etc. Global searches looking at different locations, place names, specific conditions, and also unique IDs. Basically, global data will provide insights into what data has been collected, and it'll also provide things like trend analysis. So why was Supplier created? A short case study. Essentially, the issue that was being presented was that with CCTV data, when it's supplied, it's often supplied in plentiful quantities, and compliance checking and information overload quickly becomes an increasing risk. Managing the data flow within a survey business from order to survey completion requires coordination and management, and assessing the results requires well-ordered, compliant data, as well as reassurance that the correct data has been supplied. Supplier and its technical service was instigated to address the shortcomings in data being delivered by CCTV companies submitting thousands of surveys a week, and a surprisingly high proportion of which did not meet the requirements of the client. Before Supplier, keeping track of what was usable and what rectification was required quickly became beyond the scope of spreadsheets and surveys supplied on hard drives. Supplier resolved the issues, automating many of the compliance checks and maintaining a clear audit trail of every submission and status, allowing both CCTV company and asset managers to benefit from clear, objective, unambiguous reports. Once data is compliant, it can be used with confidence to determine conditions and determine what actions are required to improve the conditions of the pipelines, ultimately improving the experience of the customers living near the sewers that work. Supplier end-to-end visibility aids information flow directly from the site crews through to the asset managers, and also budget management by asset managers through the duration of the project. And of course, all the data is available for reference and re-referencing for future comparisons. Typical uses might well be to check correct repairs have been completed and provide ongoing watching briefs for assets requiring monitoring, perhaps even deterioration studies over time. So is all data that is supplied of quality? These are just a few examples of the regular issues with data supplied by contractors. With so much data supplied for CCTV surveys, it's possible for detail to slip through any CCTV contractor's back office checks, maybe down to the lack of tools provided by some TV reporting suites, or that procedures haven't been followed. Whatever the reason, the submitted CCTV data is not always usable CCTV data. By automating much of the compliance screening, Supplier prevents such data from being seen by asset managers, and importantly, provides detailed feedback to the supplier for corrective action. Just a quick extract from the system showing examples from 16 different suppliers. Each pair of statistics shown by each of the charts represents one contractor providing data. And as you can see, there are very few contractors that are providing 100% compliant data. So what does Supplier help to achieve? Or, as mentioned, it's data agnostic. It means that contractors continue without any changes to their software. We're not tying anybody into any particular kind of data collection system. TV contractors and asset managers have visibility of what's completed and what's still to be assessed, with the full story in between. The end-to-end provides online visibility. It promotes timely decisions. Having the full story facilitates good decision making and, of course, confidence in using the data. The efficiencies, visibility brings efficiencies. Preventing poor quality, non-compliant data ensures decisions can be made, and finding relevant information quickly. It makes lost surveys or lost USBs or lost hard drives a thing of the past. Supplier is simple to use, it's effective for CCTV data management. The analysis, Supplier is not just software, it's a service with technical expertise and a proven track record. It provides global searches and, of course, the reporting. I guess in brief, what does Supplier help to achieve? Its inbuilt reporting, analysis and visualization features help our customers to improve the experience of their customers. Coming to the last section of the presentation, and I thought it would be good to just provide a taster of some of the inbuilt features that Supplier can provide. So going through the end-to-end journey, having the benefit of the whole story is always going to be useful. In this particular slide, we can see that we had a pre-survey at the top here, and this pre-survey identified that this pipe had got some roots in there. Once the roots were removed by a cleanse, a post-cleanse survey took place, and the real cause or the structural issues within the pipe could clearly be seen. The appropriate action on the back of that was to provide a repair to address the structural issues. And of course, having the post-repair survey on the system just confirms that that repair has taken place. And of course, that the condition of the pipe is then much better than it was at the initial stage of the pre-survey. Automated status reports. This is an example of roughly 200 projects. This information gives a status of each of the project, grouping it by their various stages. So we have 50 odd that haven't even been started, 140 that are in the pipeline, somewhere they're on site at some stage, 12 that are nearing completion, just waiting for that confirmation, and then the remedial analysis has been completed. This sort of information can be a self-service report, it's a standard report in the system, but it can also be emailed out on a regular basis, so that as an asset manager, you're constantly getting updated with what the current status is. The important aspect of abortive work is losing track of that information, such as access problems. So pipes which repeatedly haven't been surveyed because of problematic access may actually be in really poor condition. And Supplier provides an effective range of features for operational teams. No need to keep track of emails or spreadsheets or resource lists, who was what and where. Supplier provides one version of the information, all stored in one place, for everybody to access. It's efficient, it's effective, and it's intuitive to use. Mentioned one of these reports previously, either project-based or global reporting. This is an example of the number of kilometres of grade 1 through to 5, both structural and service grades. It's a dashboard of information for asset managers and understanding the conditions that are being reported, and of course how to prioritise the decisions and what action is to take. So from such high level reports where many thousands of surveys can be grouped, down to single reports when we can drill into the information to find out what failed, for example. This example is an extract report to show a range of surveys that failed the screening process, with specific feedback and information about what the issues were within the data. Any surveys affected by such non-compliance are fed straight back to the contractor so that they can quickly address the issue, rectify it, and put the amended data back into the system. We also provide quality control and screening services. Essentially, reliable data enables confidence in that data, confidence in the contractors, provides efficient prioritisation and timely decisions and actions. And Supplier offers an unrivaled technical service through an industry experienced team with in-depth knowledge. The service that we provide includes in-depth data screening and reporting, compliance checking and updates to minimise data flow disruptions, and quality control of CCTV condition reporting. Just an example of what such quality control would look like, an example on screen here, where you can see that across around 600 surveys, a randomised selection has checked the accuracy of the coding, and each of these is logged more or less in line with the MSCC prescribed method for carrying out quality control. It is a service which we offer. I'd like to thank you all for your time, and ask any questions that you have can be typed in as chat messages. So, Reese, back to you. Do you have any questions that you can feed in?
A couple there. Let's see. No, so that's Kate, I believe, asking anybody if they got any questions. So if anybody does have any questions, please unmute and speak freely. As I said, sometimes people are a little bit too shy to chat in front of everybody, a bit like myself. So if you are, then you can always contact us through the Ipsum website. That is not a problem. Ipsum.co.uk. As well as that, please do. Oh, yes, no problem. We will, if you share your email address on the chat now, we can give you a copy of that presentation. I don't think there's a problem with that. Is there, Daz? No problem with that.
Sorry, I was muted. No, that's fine.
Stephen, if you want to share your email address on the chat, we'll get that over to you. Yeah, what I was saying was that if you wanted to look at other webinars, other events that the Guild has got going on, please visit the Pipe Industries Guild website to have a look at the calendar. There's one big event coming up in March, which is the National Dinner down in the Grosvenor House in London. It's a very, very good event to attend. So have a look at that. There is no other questions, I guess. I think I'm a little commercial aspect of that, say PV. Gary's asked a question there. Can you see these, Darren?
I'm not. Could you?
Can you cover a little on the commercial aspects of Sewer Viewer, please? Yes. What would you like to know?
Sure, I'll give a quick overview of the commercial reporting.
Overview would be fine, thanks, Darren.
So essentially, the commercial side will track the progress of a pipe from its listing in a project to be surveyed through to the point at which the survey is completed, which in many cases will trigger the point for some sort of payment. That can then be calculated either through a set of rates which can be used, or simply by having a range of status triggers to say that something is payable or even has been paid. With the commercial aspects, it can be something which can be tailored to individual needs. So it's something which we probably look a little bit more detailed into, depending on what particular circumstances were required for it.
Thank you.
Anything else? I guess we'll call that a wrap then. Kate, do you want to say anything from a Guild point of view? If you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. Just thanks to Darren and to you, Reese, for hosting the event. And like Reese said, check out the Guild's calendar. We've got webinars coming up from the National Association of Drainage Contractors, and the Wales and West branch are running a seminar on the introduction to water treatment. Then we've got the Showcase and Lions Lair event in early February, which is a shared event with iGEM. And then, as Reece said, the Guild dinner on the 8th of March, which we have a innovation and achievement seminar on the day at the same venue, which is all of our technical award winners from last year. And we also have a PDN training day. If there's any developing professionals out there who are interested in that, their ticket includes a ticket for the dinner as well. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and see you at the next one.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good day. Bye now.
Bye.